Today I'm going to answer some of you guys' questions. Last week I asked you guys to send me your questions through Instagram and LinkedIn, and I have received a number of questions. So let's jump right into it. What would be your number one advice to an international LLB student looking for training contracts and LPC sponsorship? You need to ask yourself whether you really want to work here and whether you want this opportunity so badly. And more importantly, you need to be mentally prepared. You're going to be rejected like crazy. You're going to be so uncertain regarding what you're going to do in your life, because you could literally get your offer tomorrow, next week, next month, 1 year, or even 4 years. You never know. And if you feel like you're mentally strong enough, then just keep going. Even though you got rejected 100 times, those rejections will never appear on your CV anyway. What matters is what you get at the end. How do you overcome self-doubt as someone who doesn't speak English as a first language? Honestly, practice makes perfect. I think that's also why the reason I need to come to London. Because back in Hong Kong when I was a law student, I wasn't so confident regarding my English speaking skills, because I feel like in the Asian community, people always have this stigma. They feel like, oh, you don't have this British accent or American accent, because people who were educated in international school, they usually look superior in terms of the way they speak. But I didn't have that advantage. I was educated at a state school. At this point, I just don't really care anymore. My suggestion will be just put yourself out there, make friends with people who are not from your country. So your favorite module. My favorite subject is contract law. My contract law tutor was the first person who actually believed in me and think that I would become a good lawyer. Your biggest realization after coming to the UK and being a future trainee. In the past, my happiness kind of depended on whether I get a job in the UK or not. But that was such an unhealthy mindset, because right after I got my training contract, I realized I felt happy for maybe 2 or 3 days. The problem with chasing goal is it's never enough. You will want to be a trainee solicitor now, you want to be associate or partner in the future. When you become that, you will want something more. Of course, it's important if you have a dream, but also constantly chasing something doesn't necessarily make you happy. So I think what is more important is to appreciate the time, the moment, live in the present. That's what actually makes me happy. Are you thinking of taking another bar exams beside the New York bar? I thought about doing the California bar exam as well, because if you're a qualified lawyer, you can also take the California bar exam. But I'm not sure whether I have the time to do it right now, as I'm going to start my training contract very soon. Maybe in the future, I will also do qualify in Hong Kong as well. Is it possible to secure a vacation scheme without studying in the UK at all, or I shouldn't bother applying? Law firms in London usually could not sponsor a visa for a vacation schemer. If you have never studied in the UK, I reckon you can only apply directly for a training contract. I also need to give you a reality check. If you have never studied in the UK, never interact with anyone at the firm, it's usually very hard for you to convince the firm you really want to work for them. In that sense, it's hard for you to apply for a training contract. How to build your personal brand as a trainee. Just put yourself out there, start sharing knowledge, and with the aim of actually helping other people or to help others achieve their dream. And then your personal brand would definitely come along. Do you think law is safe from tax? I actually previously make a video about how legal tech affects law firm as a business. Legal tech is not going to replace every lawyer. However, it definitely affects the law firm structure, as I mentioned in my video. As a result, law firms may have less junior members and more senior or partner level members. How do you stay motivated? Especially when I was really demotivated or unhappy, I tend to watch some videos of successful people like Jack Ma, those people who are really successful after all the rejection they got. It's always good to kind of find those people and realize that I'm not alone, and also I could be successful as well if I can bounce back from all those rejections. Watch horror movie as well, especially when I'm genuinely unhappy. When I watch horror movie, when I look at those people who are chased by psychopaths or criminals, they're going to die at any time, but I'm still alive, I'm breathing, so it isn't that bad. I mean, at least the worst case scenario, I just don't get a job. I still could have a good life even though I don't have those achievements. How to improve our augmentative skills in our writing. I have this period that I have really bad drafting or writing skills. So you may think how I could actually publish articles if my writing skills were that poor. There was this period I read a lot of scholarly articles or journals in Westlaw, Nessus, High Online. As time goes by, I just keep writing. I try to mimic their style, and then my style becomes a mixture of all the scholars I have read. I think that's a good thing because usually those people know how to write in a concise manner and how to articulate their sentences in a convincing way. What do you think of the old routine and the new SQE exam? So I assume the old routine you mean the LPC. I always feel like the SQE is kind of similar to the New York board exam. I think it's good in the sense that students could enroll into a SQE prep course with a lower cost. I think the key question is still whether you can get a position at a law firm. Given that now many people qualify as a lawyer using the SQE route, it could become more competitive because of that as well. If you have received average, some below average module grades, what's the best things you can do to make your vacation scheme and training contract application complete? Say you don't have a 2-1 or you have really low grades. Doing an LLM or something like that won't magically make you academically qualified. So what you can do is to try to get more extensive legal work experiences, maybe by paralegaling, by doing a lot of internships. Use that work experience to compensate for your lack of grades. On the other hand, if you haven't got excellent grades, but your grades have reached that minimum requirement by law firms, that means your academic performance is not the main problem. The gap is something else, which could be gaining more work experiences, doing internship abroad, etc. Just anything that could help you improve your CV, because academic performance is not everything, especially in the UK market. LPC advice exam preparation. I recently finished my 7-month accelerated LPC examination. My key advice is really to prepare all the SGS activities and make consolidated notes based on those SGS activities, because the examination questions in the LPC are very similar to what you have done in the activity session during your SGS. So just focus on those activities, then I'm sure you will be fine. Why did you become a lawyer? Probably a classic law firm interview question. I always enjoy things that are internationally challenging anyway. Lawyer is definitely a very challenging job based on the kind of legal issues they have. And more recently, I realized, especially when I passed the bar exam, also the fact that I'm now working in the UK, lawyer is also probably one of the few occupations that you can actually travel around the world. Apart from pilots or maybe doctors, people can now have a more international legal career as well. Can you go from being a UK lawyer to a New York lawyer? Of course possible. You can just go through the 2 years of training contract in the UK and then you will be a qualified England and Wales lawyer. After that, you can also take the New York bar exam or California bar exam so that you can qualify in those jurisdictions. I'm actually going to be a New York lawyer first before starting my training contract. It's actually a bit weird as well. And also, if you aim at working in a US law firms or a law firms in London, which also has a US office, it's also possible for you to transfer to that office later on if you get that New York qualification or if the right opportunity comes up. So it's always good to keep your options open. How do you keep up with your fitness goals while also being so busy? Actually, it's not as time consuming as some of you guys think. I just spend an hour a day to work out. I often have a few priorities I need to finish every day. Fitness is definitely part of the priorities. No matter how busy you are, you still can squeeze some time to do something if it is important enough in your life. Just like spending time with your girlfriend or boyfriend, spending time with your family. If you really care that a lot, you will be able to squeeze some time, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So those are the questions for this video. Let me know in the comment whether you like this style of videos. And I think it's pretty good because I can interact with you guys and actually get questions from you guys. And some of the questions are really good as well. It also make me thinking about my career and what I should do next. And subscribe to my channel for a new video every Sunday, 2 p.m. GMT time zone. If I want to make a similar video in the future, I will also let you guys know in my Instagram or the community section of the YouTube channel. So keep an eye on it. I'll see you guys next Sunday.